Bread once made names like Jean Boat and Eileen Pollock household stars. Nearly 40 years later, both have passed. And how about the rest? Their transformations will shock you. Jean Boat as Nellie Boswell. Jean Boat was born on March 6, 1932, in Liverpool, England. When she was 54 years old, she stepped into the role of Nellie Boswell, the sharp-tongued, strong-willed matriarch who kept the Boswell family together with wit, grit, and deep love. Her performance gave Bread its beating heart and unforgettable charm. Off-screen, Jean's life was equally colorful. She married composer Carl Davis in 1970, and their enduring love lasted until the end, despite the ups and downs of artistic life and financial challenges.
You'd fall asleep on a level crossing. You're supposed to have young blood in your veins.
In her final years, she battled recurring pneumonia, and she passed away on September 12, 2023.
Fresh raspberries, ice cream and brandy sauce, Grandad.
At the age of 91 in Northwood, London, leaving behind a legacy still cherished by fans.
Well, the family pot will be empty if it wasn't for Joey's £50 this morning.
Peter Howitt as Joey Boswell. Peter Howitt was born on June 29, 1958 in Lancashire, England. When he was 28 years old, he brought to life Joey Boswell, the slick-talking eldest son of the family. Charming in his sharp suits and cheeky smile, always scheming yet somehow lovable. The role perfectly showcased Peter's natural comic timing. Outside the spotlight, his life took some unexpected turns. He married someone outside the industry in the early 1990s, but their relationship ended after a decade due to irreconcilable differences.
Yes, I have. Thank you very much for asking. To do the loaf.
Soon after, Peter struggled with debt and depression. Yet by 2025,
I'm not taking any more of this. I've jacked it in.
At 67, he lives quietly in Lancashire, appearing in local theatre and embracing the simplicity of single life.
Are you filming up there at the moment?
We're just doing another series. Fresh, banging up.
Ronald Forfar as Freddie Boswell. Ronald Forfar was born on January 6, 1939, in Liverpool, England. When he was 47 years old, he took on the role of Freddie Boswell, the bumbling, womanizing father whose get-rich-quick schemes and affairs sparked chaos and comedy. Ronald portrayed Freddie with a perfect blend of frustration and affection, creating a character both ridiculous and endearing. In real life, Ronald's path was equally dramatic. He married his first wife in 1965, but a tabloid scandal following an affair led to their divorce.
I was there when John was born, though, wasn't I? I was there then for the firstborn.
He remarried in 1980 and found a more stable rhythm, often tending to his vegetable garden in the countryside.
I believe I'm going to become a grandfather.
He battled heart disease for years and passed away of natural causes on September 28, 2020, at the age of 81 in a hospital in England. Victor Maguire as Jack Boswell. Victor Maguire was born on March 17, 1964, in Liverpool, England. When he was 22 years old, he played Jack Boswell, the ambitious yet often unlucky second son, whose energy and determination added a youthful spark to the sitcom. Victor made Jack lovable through his mix of awkwardness and earnest drive. Beyond the screen, Victor led a vibrant but rocky personal life.
I'd only been there 5 minutes and I wet me pants. I didn't say a word to anyone.
He married a stage actress in 1995, but the couple divorced in 2010 after public arguments about his hectic career.
Might as well cram one more experience in.
Though once a heavy smoker, Victor now enjoys better health and at 61 still lives in Liverpool, doing voice work and enjoying peaceful days with friends.
I always leave here, mentally, physically and psychologically bedraggled I do.
Eileen Pollock as Lilo Lil. Eileen Pollock was born on May 18, 1947, in Belfast, Northern Ireland. When she was 40 years old, she played Lilo Lil, the sultry, cunning mistress of Freddie Boswell, whose surprise appearances stirred up comedic mayhem. Eileen brought sharp wit and flair to the role, making Lilo unforgettable. But off-screen, Eileen faced many hurdles. She married a journalist in 1975, but they divorced in 1990 after he publicly criticized her artistic lifestyle. Later in life, she endured a long battle with breast cancer. She passed away on December 19, 2020, at the age of 73 in London. Nick Conway as Billy Boswell. Nick Conway was born on December 15, 1963, in Shropshire, England. When he was 24 years old, he portrayed Billy Boswell, the clumsy youngest son always trying to prove himself, often creating hilarious messes despite his good intentions. Nick captured Billy's youthful charm with wide-eyed sincerity. Away from the cameras, Nick led a simple but rich life. He married his childhood sweetheart in 1988, and their marriage endured despite financial struggles when he briefly stepped away from acting.
I'm the father of that baby. She's kidnapped my child.
Oh, now, don't be so overdramatic.
Diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, Nick has managed it well through lifestyle changes. In 2025, at age 62, he occasionally appears on local TV and enjoys family life in Shropshire. Gilly Coleman as Eileen Boswell. Gilly Coleman was born on September 13, 1955, in Liverpool, England. When she was 31 years old, she played Eileen Boswell, the family's only daughter, a headstrong dreamer whose longing to escape poverty brought both humor and heart to the show. Gilly turned Eileen into a symbol of quiet resilience. Sadly, her real life held its share of tragedy. She married a photographer in 1980, but they divorced after 10 years due to career conflicts. Gilly suffered from heart problems starting in the early 2000s, and she passed away from a sudden heart attack on July 13, 2010, at the age of 54 in Wirral, England, leaving fans mourning her untimely loss. Jonathan Morris as Adrian Boswell. Jonathan Morris was born on July 20, 1960, in Manchester, England. When he was 26 years old, he portrayed Adrian Boswell, a shy, emotional young man constantly struggling to find his place in a noisy family, offering a fascinating contrast to his siblings. Jonathan made Adrian memorable with his portrayal of a sensitive yet lovable character. His personal life has been equally colorful. He married a television producer in 1995, and although their relationship faced rumors of turbulence due to busy schedules, it remained strong.
Gareth Hunt.
You've worked with Gareth?
Oh, my sorry, got that.
He has also dealt with anxiety, overcoming it through meditation and a healthy lifestyle.
Not particularly for the work, I just really like the people.
Yeah.
In 2025, at 65 years old, Jonathan continues to take on small acting projects and enjoys family life in Manchester. Rita Tushingham as Celia Higgins. Rita Tushingham was born on March 14, 1942, in Liverpool, England. When she was 46 years old, she played Celia Higgins, a refined yet mysterious neighbor who brought a fresh, humorous depth to the Boswell family, showcasing her seasoned acting talent. Rita's portrayal was a highlight, with her expressive eyes leaving a lasting impression on viewers. Off-stage, Rita's life has been a tapestry of experiences. She married photographer Terry Bicknell in 1962 and had 2 daughters before divorcing. She remarried director Usama Rawi in 1981, and they lived in Canada for 20 years before parting ways in 1996.
Oh, shut up. I'm not planning big plans for this baby, I'm dreaming big dreams.
Since the 1990s, she has been with Hans Heinrich Siemann, splitting her time between London and Germany. Rita has a passion for painting, which she uses as a form of relaxation, though she faced financial stress during unsuccessful film projects.
Yeah, and he was wonderful to work with. He's very focused and very professional. And
her health is stable, though she admits that age has slowed her down somewhat. In 2025, at 83 years old, Rita continues to reside in London, occasionally appearing in small projects and enjoying life with her partner.
Well, we've got to get the script right, but, and then...
Simon Rouse, as Yizzle's mate. Simon Rouse was born on June 24, 1951, in Bradford, England. When he was 35 years old, he played Yizzle's mate, a close friend of Yizzle who brought street-smart humor and charm, adding to the lively atmosphere of the sitcom. Simon made this character unforgettable with his natural charisma and flair. In his personal life, Simon's story is filled with ups and downs. He first married Anne, but the marriage ended due to differences. In 1979, he remarried Anne Holloway, with whom he has 2 children, and their marriage has endured, despite the pressures of balancing family life and career.
Yeah, whatever happens, we've said that they're...
He also faced minor legal troubles related to taxes in the 1990s.
Mac's boss, and he's very, very wealthy.
In 2025, at 74 years old, Simon lives in Yorkshire, still acting in television shows and enjoying time with his grandchildren, J.G. Develin, as Father Dooley. J.G. Develin was born on October 8, 1907, in Belfast, Northern Ireland. When he was 79 years old, he took on the role of Father Dooley, a kind yet humorous priest who brought warmth and sage advice to the Boswell family, winning hearts with his soothing voice and mischievous gaze. This role marked one of the final milestones of his career. J.G.'s personal life, however, was filled with challenges. He married Veen, with whom he had 4 children, and their marriage lasted until his death, though he rarely spoke about his family, preferring to keep his private life private.
Mary, Joan, he never puts off till tomorrow anyone he can do today.
J.G. was passionate about theater, frequently participating in local productions in Belfast, but he struggled with arthritis in his later years, making movement difficult. He passed away on October 17, 1991, at the age of 84 in Belfast, leaving behind a proud legacy of acting, Katie Carmichael as Connie. Katie Carmichael was born on September 26, 1970, in Liverpool, England. When she was 21 years old, she played Connie, a lively and youthful supporting character who brought fresh energy to the sitcom with her brief yet vibrant appearances, showcasing her promising talent. Katie made Connie an endearing part of the show. Off-screen, Katie lives a simple but happy life. She married actor Tristan Sturrock in 2005 and has 3 children, with her daughter Bronte following in her footsteps as an actress.
And we're going to show you how to make a great nighttime snack.
Katie enjoys writing and has written scripts, though she faced challenges balancing her career and motherhood.
Freddie!
In 2025, at 55 years old, she resides in Cornwall, continuing to act in films like Christopher Robin and relishing peaceful days with her family. Kenneth Waller as Grandad. Kenneth Waller was born on November 5, 1927, in London, England. When he was 59 years old, he portrayed Grandad, the lovable but quirky grandfather of the Boswell family, bringing laughter with his stories of the past and humorous grumbling. Kenneth made Grandad an unforgettable character. However, his personal life remained relatively private. He married his one and only wife in 1955, and their marriage lasted until the end of his life.
Mr. Beck? Sydney, what can I do for you? Keeping busy, are you?
In his later years, Kenneth battled pneumonia, a health issue that led him to gradually step away from the spotlight. He passed away on January 28, 2000, at the age of 72 in London, leaving behind a memorable career. Melanie Hill as Eileen Boswell. Melanie Hill was born on January 11, 1962, in Sunderland, England. When she was 27 years old, she took on the role of Eileen Boswell in later seasons, portraying a strong, determined woman who chased her dreams despite life's challenges, endearing herself to audiences with her confidence and charm. Melanie brought a refreshing depth to Eileen. Off-screen, her life has been inspirational. She married actor Sean Bean in 1990, but they divorced in 1997 due to the pressures of both their rising careers.
In London, and we just did it yesterday, front and back, and I feel so
Melanie remarried in 2017 and is now living a happier life. In 2025, at 63 years old, Melanie continues to act and enjoys her days with her family in Essex. Brian Murray as Shifty Boswell. Brian Murray was born on September 10, 1949, in Dublin, Ireland. When he was 39 years old, he portrayed Shifty Boswell, a distant family member involved in shady dealings, bringing mystery and humor through his brief but memorable appearances. Brian made Shifty an intriguing highlight in the sitcom. His personal life has been full of changes. He married twice, first in 1975, but divorced after 10 years due to financial disagreements, and later remarried in 1995, with this second marriage still going strong.
And then finally...
You've lost the working-class accent.
Yeah, well...
Under the pressure of unwanted circumstances, he developed high blood pressure, but has managed to improve it with a healthy diet.
You know, they phoned up and said, you know, Anna's on. Would you fancy coming on and say hello? I said, God, I'd love.
In 2025, at the age of 76, Brian continues to participate in independent film projects and enjoys life with his grandchildren in Dublin. Deborah Grant as Leonora Campbell. Deborah Grant was born on February 22, 1947 in Middlesex, England. When she was 43 years old, she played Leonora Campbell, a secondary character with a dignified presence, offering a humorous contrast to the Boswell family with her refined appearances. Deborah made Leonora a standout character with her unique portrayal. However, her real life has been full of emotional ups and downs. She married actor Jeremy Child in 1971, and their marriage has been strong despite experiencing stressful periods due to work schedules. In her later years, she faced arthritis, a health issue that caused her to reduce her acting work. In 2025, at the age of 78, Deborah still participates in theater and enjoys peaceful days with her family in Middlesex. John Woodnut as Mr. Newton. John Woodnut was born on March 3, 1924 in London, England. When he was 62 years old, he portrayed Mr. Newton, a secondary character with a serious demeanor, but also plenty of humor, appearing in the sitcom with calm composure and sharp dialogue, which highlighted the contrast with the noisy Boswell family. John brought a special charm to Mr. Newton thanks to his extensive stage experience and flexible acting skills. His life off-screen, however, was a journey full of contrasts. He married Roma Woodnut in 1946, and they had 4 children, 2 sons and 3 daughters. But their marriage ended in divorce after many years due to private disagreements that he seldom shared. In 1988, he remarried Alison Green, finding peace in his later years. He passed away on January 2, 2006, at the age of 81, at Denville Hall in Northwood, London, leaving behind a respected career and fond memories for his fans. Time hasn't spared the cast of Bread. Some are unrecognizable, and others are sadly no longer with us. Which transformation surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more content. Goodbye.